time, big time. So let me ask y'all, what was the tough choice y'all had to make that y'all know the outcome was gonna be good or bad?
The girl answer that first.
In what aspect though?
Alright,
Like you talking about life, you talking about money, you talking about relationships.
We talking about everyday.
I mean, like what though?
Alright, you had to make a choice and you don't know what the outcome was gonna be. Like you just had to make a choice. You ain't had time to think about it.
That's tough. Cause I don't really like, I had some shit going on when I was a youngin', like, law enforcement involvement.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't really say it was a choice though. I was in a
Right.
situation where I had to just come up with something to try to get out of it.
Okay.
Far as just like making a true choice, like I had to understand, like you saying, like,
So how did you know that you wanted to go the right way instead of the wrong way? We all could have been in the game.
Okay.
We all could have been in the streets, but we decided to do right.
I would tell you, like, you learn from other people's mistakes, yo.
Okay.
I had 5 uncles on my mother's side, 5 of them. All 5 have been in and out of the system,
Right.
as in prison. Love them all to death, and so I learned from them. Granted, one of my uncles, shout out to Uncle Ty, he from DC area, and he was that guy. Take it how you want it. So being around him changed my perspective because I rode in the best Benz. I rode in his Range. He let me borrow his new Yukon when I came home on leave. I just had met him because he had just came out the feds.
Right.
So with that situation, it was like, but I always respected him for telling me, nephew, if I ever see you doing what I'm doing, I'm gonna hurt you. And granted, I had a great father too. So having my father and then 5 uncles who had been in and out of prison, it kind of helped me out. And it was like, because they showed me the non-glamorous side.
Right.
Even my uncle, I tell y'all some real nigga shit, like when he let me borrow his Yukon and I drove it to the crib, just 2010 before my first deployment, I had it for 30 days and got him like 3 tickets in DC because they used to have the construction site to take a picture when you go speeding.
Yeah.
But I was so thankful that he let me borrow. I wasn't old enough to rent a truck, and nobody don't do nothing for me.
Right.
That's just how it goes. Like it's just kind of like victim of being a real one. So just to show him some love, he had the basement popping with the whole cowboy shit, and I brought him a cowboy clock, and like he almost broke down in tears. The cowboy clock like $80. And he was like, nobody never did nothing for me, and I do so much for everybody. He took me to a Redskins game in the box. So like all of that inclusive is like seeing him and talking to him. And my good friend, my big brother CB, like that nigga did 7 years in the feds. Like I started to see growing up like what it ends up at. And ultimately, only a few niggas go to jail really rich, as far as in the streets. Some of them go to jail looking good, but they be broke as hell. So I just I want that bread, but I can't do that time. And the Air Force is my way out, so like, because ultimately everybody got this story, right? So if you talk to somebody he ain't grow up like that, he ain't had, but it don't matter where I grew up, like it's what I really was involved in.
Right.
So with that, it's just kind of one of them things like that. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, for sure.
You all right, bro? All right.
Man.
So,